Good evening and welcome to EvilGinger Miniatures. Honestly, this is Tuesday. This really is Tuesday, and I didn't forget that I was supposed to do a live stream yesterday completely in all the excitement about getting half the racking assembled. Hope you saw the pictures. It's very substantial, but I'm not entirely sure whether I've got it in the right place, so that's going to take a lot of moving and manoeuvring. I would prefer it close to the wall. The boxing around the pipework at the bottom of the wall is pushing, and the slope on the floor is pushing it away from the wall rather more than I would like. And as it's where the majority of my stock is going to go, I would like it against the wall where it will, if anything, lean into the wall. But more developments will happen on Saturday. It's far too hot to do a great deal of work, and I can't get help in the middle of the night when it probably would be cold enough to put up with it, and it's not a one-man job. It is very definitely not a one-man job. It is very definitely a two-man job, potentially a three if you want to do it quickly. But we've got it half done. Need to rearrange the office a lot more and then get back on with it. Anyway, this one is going to be probably reasonably quick because it's been a very hot day. And it is still unpleasantly hot in the workshop, and I'm planning to be nocturnal and getting some work done overnight. But I thought I'd show you something by way of an apology for completely and utterly forgetting that things happened last night. I'm in process of doing a one of my rare Games Workshop Citadel miniature commissions. This is, I believe, a Chaos Space Marine Demon Army, and basically that's one of the demons. Still painting in and still working out, blocking in and working out what goes where. Themes are going to be very much dark brown with a lot of red and blood and brass as appropriate. As I say, I'm just blocking in at the moment. It's not a really, it's going to be a fiddly paint job because there is an awful lot of extraneous detail on these models, and I don't paint them often enough to be familiar or quick at working out what the hell stuff is. But this is a demon, which I will be doing. There are others which are on the main workbench. These are just ones that were to hand. This is a flyer. I've blocked in a lot of the red. There's an awful lot of brass detail to do on there, and the claws and the other bits will probably be brass. And I have got to work out a support stand for it, which will fit in the flying stand base because I don't want to get the flying stand covered in paint. So I will need to improvise. I'm thinking of 3mm MDF bases in a cross I can use as a handle. Basically, this is Army Painter paint. The new Fanatic stuff, and I'm quite impressed because I thinned that an awful lot and it pretty much covered. But again, a lot of the mechanics on this, because it's a mechanical flyer, are going to be brass, and I'm probably going to be using the dark brown speed paint that I used on the other model as a base to the brass, and bring it up by dry brushing. So you'll get a nice depth to the brass colour. Might even do some greenish wash for. There are also some Chaos Space Marines, and these I have painted before, but a very long time ago. So I'm going to be after relearning them. They are Khorne type Space Marines, so expect them to look very Blood Angel-esque by the time I finish with them, because as far as I'm concerned, Khorne and the Blood Angels fit really nicely together. There's a whole squad of those, and mostly Assault Marines, some of them which are really heavily armed with melee weapons. And over on the other table, which is that way, are some assaulted cultist infantry, another smaller demon, a Space Marine commander, and some terminators, which also go with the whole thing. So that's underway. The other project that I'm just coming to the end of is the terrain project, which I have been posting pictures of and will be continuing to post pictures of, which is just off camera, which I'm going to fetch because there's very limited space to work, which is why one of the reasons I want the office sorted out. Because when the office is sorted out, I can actually set up and have the stuff I want to show people all around the camp, or just off camera, so I can actually do stuff. I've got it here. This is part of it. It is a fairly good selection. There are various elements to it. The small pieces of collapsed roof like that, which are mostly fairly flat, as you can see. Part resin casting, part small bricks and brick powder. There's quite a few of those. Then there are stubby little bits of wall. The scale's meant to be 15mm. The loose bricks are over scale, but they're the smallest I could get, and they do add to the finish. But basically, that's that. And there's some bigger bits. Again, no single stories. This, I believe, is for Flames of War, so it's 15mm, very low to the ground. This is a bigger bit, a two-story that I ended up scratch building a floor for. And these, as much as I've tried to glue them down, refuse to stay properly glued down, and I will be again varnishing them again before they go off to the customer. Just to know, but I think it's going to be one of those cases where there is going to be a little bit of shedding, whatever I do. But again, that's cardboard and plastic card. And then there are some fairly big chimneys, again side on. Again, bits and pieces keep falling off, but I have glued and sealed this several times and washed the brickwork as well. Two like that. And then there's the centerpiece, which is a big factory, big room factory, for which the chimneys are probably coal burners. And you have that as well. Again, basically it's traditionally cast resin, and the bases are MDF with a bit of scratch built sort of blending in, as I usually do. But as I say, that's about half of it. The rest of it is over on the other workbench because I've not long photographed it. And I'll just put that out of the way. So anyway, that is probably about it for this week. Because, as I say, I've had a long day and it's been very hot and unpleasant. And whilst I've got stuff done, it's been basic stuff like blocking in and studying figures to work out what's going on. So I'll leave you that for now, and I'll be back properly next week, hopefully when it's cool enough for me to show off some actual work. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll speak to you next week, if not before. Bye.